So in Hypixel Skyblock, from what I know, the progression is supposed to take some time. It was clear from the very start of this series that this game mode could quite literally become endless. But I do have you guys, which not everyone has, and I do have a goal to reach, even though it is quite high. This series won't be endless by any means. And if you're new, well, it's great to have you here. It would be beneficial if you watched the other episodes so far, so I'll link them up in a playlist above or in the description down below. Anyways, talking about progression, I'd heard from all of you that Talismans, aka accessories, can become very powerful things as you progress through the game, so I thought I might as well start the hunt today. But before that, I decided to give you guys a small roundup on the changes I'd made to my island since the complete revamp last episode, and you all seem to really enjoy it, so thank you for the nice comments. Okay, we're back on Skyblock, and someone's in the AFK pool. So firstly, I had changed the AFK pool, the AFK pool, because the one I made last time wasn't the one you guys had in mind. The reason why it was like this is because the player has to actually be moving to not be AFK, so my version of the AFK pool was kind of useless. This pool worked for some people, but for others it didn't, so I'm not sure really. But I guess I'll leave it there, because it won't really be a big part of the island anyways. Next, I added some teleporters thanks to a fair trade by a member. I got 10 telepads for the price of 25,000, but to be honest, I will probably be needing a bit more than this because I've already used up 8 and there are a lot more islands yet to create. I then also made an enchanting island and organized my chest to something that hopefully will last us until at least we get some bigger backpacks. Oh, redstone eggs, large accessory bag, personal compactor? Yes, we can create this now. Oh, we need the super compactor first, and the super compactor is quite expensive. The super compactor could be very useful later in the game with my minions. Mining ender nodes and doing stuff in the end, I managed to get some enchanted endstone and obsidian. I did some mithril mining, yes, commissions in the dwarf mines, like you guys suggested. And in this chest, I have sorted out all the weapons and the tools, and the armor, obviously. The armor I could probably sell somewhere, but I could also sacrifice it somewhere. It was on the end island, and I did look around for this place, but I couldn't really find it, so maybe the next time I'll actually search it up and see if it's worth it. And the ender nodes were actually really helpful in getting me some grand experience bottles without spending money itself. I then headed to the garden to correct something I failed to do last episode, which was to try and plant some carrots. First, I had to figure out why the heck there was a big queue outside the barn. Have 5 visitors at once? What? Why are you guys here? People really want to go to my farm then. Okay, so what do you want? You want 233 hay bales? You want enchanted carrots? Jerry, good old Jerry, you want enchanted carrots too. These trades seemed like quite a lot for me to deal with at this point in time, so I then decided to address the mistake I had made, which all of you then roasted me in the comments for. I figured out why I can't plant carrots, and that's because I misspelled something in the bazaar. Yeah, it's carrots instead of carrots. So if you go here and type in carrots, you get nothing. But carrots, you get everything. Now I'd finally gotten over how drastically a spelling mistake could change your whole farming career, I headed back over to the garden to see if I could finally plant some carrots. We have inventory, maximum of, 7,000 is the maximum, wow. And it seemed like I completely underestimated the size of this plot. Is this all it is? Oh my word, we need more carrots. Now that it was planting, I headed back to the hub to see if I could sell the duplicate ender pieces I had gotten, and some people started launching bat fireworks in the hub. Now I knew that this was a part of the spooky festival, so I took my chances and picked up some green candy, which I could apparently sell later on for some money. I'm not sure if it was profitable, but I guess it did no harm in actually collecting them. And also just to note, Skyblock can lag a bit here and there because of the amount of players in the hub, so if that ever decreases the video quality, I'm afraid we'll have to deal with it until I move to a less crowded area. I then wanted to show you guys the full ender set I'd finally finished off after a bit more end slaying off camera. But talking about the end, if I go to my Skyblock profile, you can see, wait, I need to actually equip my ender set. Look at this, we have the whole ender set. Off camera, I did some mining and I got these 3 in under half an hour, which was quite impressive. Apparently the ender gauntlet is the hardest to get, and I got it in like 5 ender nodes. I also wanted to find a place where I could sacrifice my duplicate ender gear, but I still couldn't find it. So I then just headed back to the hub to see if I could check on Elizabeth in the community center when it started raining candies again. Is it still raining green candy? Now that was over, I headed over to Elizabeth to see see if my coin allowance upgrade that we started last episode was actually ready. There we go. We get 10,000 every time we log in. Let's go ahead and make the next one start. I then went over to the auction house to reveal the bargain I'd managed to sneak in. And we're going all over the place today. We're gonna go to the auction house because, you know my bids like a couple episodes ago? I did bid for the grappling hook. Guess what? Guess what? I got the grappling hook for 14 coins. 14 coins. 3 bids and I was the top bidder. Let's go. Okay, so we can... It's basically like a fishing rod. Oh, that's actually not as good as I thought. I thought it would be a bit better. There might be a better way of actually using this item, but to me at the moment it looked quite underwhelming. And it did seem that the asterisk at the end was the better option, as even though it did use mana, it was still easier to use. So the objective at the top of my screen, to explore the hub, is still there since a few episodes back, and I still haven't completed it. So I thought one of the places left to explore was a certain hot air balloon, so I made my way over there to see if I could discover something new. Amelia, let's see you, and I think that is dungeons. Oh, dungeons. Dungeons looks like a completely different realm to me. I'm not ready to step into it just yet, but it will come in the future, obviously, as I progress in the game. Seem quite the social butterfly. Why not buy some social items for your island? I'm guessing... So, this Amelia sold me items I could use for social XP on my island. Parkour, yeah, so we can make like a parkour island. And this balloon guy wasn't who I expected, but I guess we can visit some islands in the future here. I still don't know what was left to discover for the objective, so I decided to walk around and see if anything came up that I hadn't seen yet. Let's go to Maxwell, because he has the golden dragon. Oh my word, this guy's an absolute beast. Oh gosh. Let me turn that setting off quickly. I had also made a bunch of changes in Patcher thanks to some comments, so that weird crosshair glitch was now removed, and I added a bunch of quality of life updates that I saw in the menu. But it turns out the profile viewer was actually in the main menu the whole time. So we can select power. Right now I have, it actually tells you what it gives you now, so that's nice. Right, this is my accessory bag. So it was clear that I had to work on Talismans. It was a great path to take this episode, but I still needed to clean up a couple things before I could properly focus on them. One being Jerry boxes, because I still hadn't sold them since January. One of the things is these Jerry boxes, because I still haven't sold them, and I don't think their prices are going to change anytime soon. If I go to Jerry box, green, let's tell the green ones first. 80,000, 75,000 to sell. So let's just sell instantly. Okay, that was quick. Okay, let's go to the blue. We have one blue Jerry box we can sell. And let's sell instantly for 118,000. Let's sell this. Let's go. 502,000. We made 500,000 basically. And let's go ahead and deposit everything. So now we have 700,000 in our bank. Now I do have some more money in the bank. If you do have any like super useful items I could consider getting that are beneficial and relevant to my level, then leave them in the comments down below and with your suggestion, and I'll see if it's worth investing in. So I then sold my ender boots to the miner to see how much I'd get for them, and it was 10,000 apparently, but I was kind of counting on a bit more than that. But now pretty much all the small things are out the way. I could focus on the big task at hand, which was to collect all the accessible talismans that I could, so I could fill up my accessory bag obviously. And throughout this video I partially watched another accessory tutorial made by 30virus yet again, though some of them aren't made for starters and I needed a bit more effort to get them, like the first one, which was named Melody's Hair. And to get it I had to head to Melody's plateau by the savannah and fully complete the list of songs she wanted me to play. Hello, musical notes. Want to learn the harp? I'll teach you. Pick a song to get started. Before I started this quest, I thought it would be an easy grab of an accessory, but after playing a few times, I realized how much more I had to actually do to get the talisman. Oh, only one at a time. Okay. Doot. I knew that this might not be as simple as I first thought. 23%? That's disgusting. This was getting quite tedious, and I even followed the tips that Hypixel themselves had given. It's almost as if they knew the pain, and even though my internet connection was kind of decent, there was still a bit of lag, and I had to redo a couple songs multiple times. 85! Not bad. I'm just gonna dance around him. He's dancing around me. Oh my word. Oh please run it for okay. Oh, sorry. And half an hour later, I was getting nowhere with the songs. I was improving, but it was painfully slow. And around 10 minutes later, I knew that I could do it, but if I stayed on this talisman the whole episode, it would be a waste of time, and I'd be here for another 3 hours, so I decided to draw the line there and focus on the other talismans. The next one I was trying to aim for was the farming talisman, which required a bunch of wheat. And so after a minute or so of farming wheat, I realized I actually already had enough to create it. We can craft this. Farming talisman, okay? Can we give more than one? Not sure if putting 2 of the same accessories into the same bag will actually make them stack, though I have a feeling they won't, but I put them in anyways, seeing as I had crafted 2. The Skyblock guide itself was also a great place for me to see my progression, and I decided to try and find the talismans it suggested as well. Next on the list was the shiny yellow rock, and from what I understood, it needed me to complete a quest for Romero and Juliet, but while searching for them I stumbled upon an unusual area. Oh gosh. Lonely Island? Melancholic Viking. I saw the sea 13 years and 6 months ago. I wish I could remember what it felt like. Sadly, my memory is now my worst enemy. Please help me remember the sea. I actually ended up looking up this one, and it didn't seem like it looked very beginner friendly. So I carried on with my original quest to find the yellow shiny rock, but I got distracted by a bunch of villagers around the campfire. Oh, isn't that one of the accessories? Wait, Well, it seemed like I had accidentally come across a quest line that would eventually give me another accessory, and together I had to endure the fire again. But at least I'm glad I got a lot of health. There we go. Ryan, let's see. Incredible team, we got a spark for this. Okay, so I got a badge. This badge was an interesting one that even gave me healing if I was on fire. The accessory I originally wanted to find and that I had come here for was actually not that far away. So after a few minutes of research, I realized what to do first. If I go up here and Juliet, just Juliet alone. Okay, what happened? Nice to meet you. Can you find my dear Romeo? He's south of here. Oh, okay. This is how we find it. And thanks to the video, I knew exactly where he was gonna be. And Romeo is here. Hello, Romeo. Good old Romeo. I'm trying to find some gold, but I can only find sand and stone here. Gold mine in Savannah Woodland. Yes. Okay. Now all I had to do was to mine some gold nearby and get myself the eventual talisman. Shiny rock. What? Already? Oh no! Oh, what a save! What a save! There we go. Oh, now I have the poorly wrapped rock. Next thing to do was to give this to Juliet to get the actual accessory. There you go. Here, you keep it. Okay. And you're here, can you find Romeo again? Romero, not Romeo. I didn't know it then, but if you followed the whole quest line to this story, you'd make this shiny rock into a much more useful one. But right now it gave me like 1 in a trillion chance of adding 100% to my damage, which wasn't really useful. Let's put this guy in. There we go. The next one I wanted to get was the speed talisman crafted with a bunch of sugarcane, and the place I needed to get it from was actually the oasis, which I still had some objectives for me to do, so I decided to complete them as well. Get some sugarcane. Go. Sugarcane. We need to get a lot of sugarcane to unlock this talisman. There are some cocoa beans right here. There you go. And cacti. Farming contest over. And it turns out when I was collecting the wheat in the hub for the farming talisman, a Jacob's contest was actually also running, so I had accidentally won myself a prize. So I guess we can claim that. Let's go ahead and get the cacti over here. Why is it floating? Rabbit, we can easily get. There we go. Easy rabbit. Now we're an intermediate farmer. So now I had finished the objective, I collected enough sugarcane to craft this talisman. Speed talisman. There we go. Can we craft it now? We can. There we go. Easy. Speed talisman. It looked to me like this one gave me a global +1 attribute to speed, which was always nice to have. So now that was crafted, I went back to the hub to collect some nether warts to get myself a potion affinity talisman. Let's get some nether warts. Okay, there we go. Just enough. Let's see. Can we craft this then? We can. Oh my word, that was so quick. This one also seemed pretty useful if I ever drank some potions in the future, but alchemy was still another sector I have yet to get into. Then I remembered I needed to collect my reward for the Jacob's contest I'd accidentally joined, and it turns out I'd got myself a Jacob's ticket, which I could use to buy some items in Anita's shop, like the infinite dirt wand. An infinite dirt wand, yes, I always wanted these. That should be quite useful in the future for our island. I then decided that whilst I was here, might as well just buy some carrots and plant them on the field. so I could then farm it later and level up my garden level. Okay, so yeah, okay, so it's just adding it on. Okay, that's nice. But from what I hear is best way of getting money on the garden is using pumpkins and melons actually. From what I heard, the pumpkins were a great early way of getting money and were sustainable because you didn't really need to replant them. But it required garden level 4 and I assumed also some copper. So I had 3 more beginner accessories to get from the Skyblock leveling guide, and 3 more slots were available in my accessory bag. So I decided to get all 3 from the guide itself, starting with the wolf paw talisman, which required me to go back and return to the race I had tried to run a few episodes back. There we go, run the race in 30 seconds is our next objective, which is over here. Let's start now. Okay, go over here, and we will get onto the pressure plate, come back down. Come on. Unfortunately, trial 1 was a fail, but on trial 2, I had managed to sneak in under 32 seconds to get myself the talisman, which also gave me a point in speed. No, we're cooking, you're getting close to my record. Here's a trinket I found, let's go. Wolf's paw. Now, the penultimate accessory I wanted to get was in fact a developed version of the shiny rock, so I headed over to the flower house to complete this quest. This is the place, there we go, so Romero Marco's here. Oh, okay, that's someone totally different. Hey there, a world famous artist to be. Most people just be the new Da Vinci. Unfortunately, I ran out of dye in the morning. In my garden are some flowers. Could you pick 5 poppies in terms of rose red dye and bring them back to me? Okay, so I just need to do this then, I guess as well. I had to get red dye for Romero, but also for Marco. So I switched hubs until I got enough of both of them. We have 23 poppies now, so we should have enough of both. Groceries? Haha! I'm here to get a flower basket for Juliet. Can you help me get some flowers? Yeah, here you go. Flower blanket. Okay, that's cool. There we go, 5 dye, and mark it, here you go. Most beautiful red dye I've ever seen. Take the spray can, you can use a spray can by left-clicking your spray can. Okay, right-click, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Now, the spray can was practically useless, I guess you could decorate a bit, but I headed back to Juliet to finish off the part of that quest line. Rose banquet? Okay, you just came with the groceries.
A few moments later.
Yellow rock, nice. Now I have the yellow rock as well. Now I had the accessory. The last one I wanted to get was the vaccine talisman, which required me to get potato collection. So we just need to mine until we get 9 of these potatoes. Then midway through this, I actually realized I didn't get the poison potatoes from this, and I actually had to kill zombies for them. So I headed over to the graveyard to get the 9 I needed. And I guess we need to kill zombies until we get this. Oh, there we go, we already got one. Okay, that's quite easy actually. And so after a while of killing zombies, I had enough to make the talisman, but I still hadn't unlocked it yet. So after a couple minutes of farming some more potatoes, I could finally craft it. There we go, we got it now. That wasn't bad. There we go, vaccine talisman. And we can go ahead and put the last bit into our accessory bag. Now we have 1 more slot actually. The reason I had 1 more slot is because the shiny rock I'd gotten before had transformed into the yellow rock of love, which didn't fill another place in the bag. But I thought this was fine because I was still after that Melody's hair talisman, but that might take me a while. Now my accessory bag was more or less complete. I headed back to the garden island to see if farming carrots I'd grown would help me get to garden level 4. We'll just mine as much as we can. But unfortunately the carrots that I'd grown had left me only at garden level 3. I did eventually get garden level 4 later on, but I also needed copper, which I still needed to work on. Anyways, I had bagged myself a pretty much completed large accessory bag, and I had also progressed in the Skyblock guide itself, but I still had a bunch of minions and collections left to go. Hopefully the accessories will help me in the future, and even though this episode might have been a bit less interesting, I'm glad I got this out of the way for the time being, so I can worry less about it and focus on the bigger things in the coming episodes. But thank you for watching this far, I appreciate your time, and if you happen to enjoy the video, then hit that like button as usual down below, and that subscribe button if you haven't already. Again, any suggestions can go in the comments down below. I mean, I have a bunch of money now, but please try to keep it relevant to my level at least. But I mean, I need to know what's going on in my level first, and things I can do myself right now, and not things I could do in the future, because things could easily change. And whilst you wait for the next video, why not check out one of these 2 other videos to see some more from me, and I'll catch you over there. Ladies and gentlemen, good night.